Hi, I'm Dr. Keith Johnson. I'm reading from my book, If Life is a Grocery Store, I Need Better Coupon. I'm reading the chapter that says, what exactly do you want? One of the great problems we face in our life is the fact that we feel unhappy, restless, tense, and uncertain as to why. We often think that our problem is we do not have what we want, when in reality, we don't know what we want, and therefore don't have the clarity of thinking to get maybe that we even have what we need already and simply need to learn how to put it into action in everyday life. The answers are not always waiting for what we want, or even waiting for what we want, but realizing that what we want is all around us. And we simply need to know what it is, and all we need to do is reach out and get it. If you find yourself searching for answers to your toughest questions, your problems could very well be the questions as tough as you're making them in your mind. No greater answer is so desperate that we have to have answers unless we choose to make them that serious. And the secrets to success are not as secretive as you assume, and have been sitting around you waiting for you to discover them. You ever notice how when two people look at a leaf, one simply sees a leaf, and the other sees the secrets of the universe within the leaf? How your look at something often determines the difference between personal success and failure, and that feeling inside that goes against everything else that is telling you just the opposite, and somehow you know your life would be so different if you surrendered to it, whatever it might be. Some people hear and pay attention to their way. Others take a long time to hear and pay attention to that feeling, and then there are those who never give it attention at all. What makes these people make their choice? Well, the answer to that question I don't know for sure. It's another secret of the universe, I guess, that I haven't and probably never will decipher. Some of it has to do with our own character, as we decide to make. Some of it with pride, bringing all of us to conclusions. But that's also individual and independent. Whether or fate or luck, I'm sure that much of it is choice, and we are there whether we choose to be. I believe that by choice, we could immediately be far more successful than we are right now. I also believe that God is very anxious to experience that success, and is doing everything He can to give us the tools and opportunity to do it if we pay attention to ourselves, our needs, and our passions. Remember that important meeting that you had? Maybe it was with your boss about a raise, or your children about their active duties, or your significant other about how he ignores your conversation, or your doctor about your health. And just when the conversation was traveling away from what you wanted to accomplish, and then suddenly you had a strange urge or inspiration, a rush of adrenaline that made you re-attack the conversation with gusto. And suddenly the talking to actually listening to what was being said by you. That's the renewed motivation that I'm talking about, that gets all that you want and need. It was there all the time, and just needed a little boost of inspiration from you. Been suggested to me that I write another book. I'd just been through a devastating near-fatal accident. I was having trouble making my body heal. My right side was paralyzed. My right foot didn't work. I couldn't walk with help, and certainly didn't think I had the inspiration to write another book. Then one day I woke from a very good sleep and suddenly wanted to write a book. That's what this, you're reading the end result of that inspiration. Somehow the very best points of inspiration come to us as we rest. When our mind is on high, when we place the troubles out of our hearts and minds, and that's the time to pay attention to our own inspiration. And what secrets are hidden in your mind? If you could unlock those secrets, there's no telling what you could accomplish. And that's what I'm talking about. I want you to unlock those points of inspiration and take the most of your life. Instead of feeling discouraged, I want you to be excited at what's discovering about yourself and how you are putting it to work in your life. You ever notice how the most amazing parties and the things you think when you see that there is no such thing as, well, I can't do this. In your dreams you can fly, you can jump off and stairs, you can run faster than a train, meet and talk to anyone you fear. Every possibility exists. Every connection is possible. It's when you wake up that the possibilities end. Now you're stuck with gravity. Now there are people who won't talk to you. Now you're guided by money. But isn't it so that if you reach out to make your dreams work during the day, that they just might become reality? I'm always hearing about the part of the brain we don't use. What if we learn to use it? What do we do? See how we learn to use the unused part of the brain? I don't have all the answers to these questions, but I do know this much. We need to learn to make more decisions. Right or wrong does most often make the brain work and puts our will into action. The more we make decisions of yes and no, and right and wrong, the more active we make both our brain and activities, and learning to make right decisions comes from making enough wrong decisions that we learn to pay attention to what we've learned. It had better, or we'll just be making the same mistakes. We start daydreaming and or thinking, and we start acting on what we think, bring our life out of the unconscious into conscious and practical. Any decision, right or wrong, will lead to us. That's why I say it doesn't make wrong decisions. Such decisions us to make right decisions. The biggest problem we usually have to overcome is our fear we will make the wrong decision, and they will somehow paralyze life. Well, this is not true. It doesn't have to paralyze. Wrong decisions will make us and train us to make right decisions, and also train us to success. Success brings you power, and power brings you to develop yourself and your personality to be what your promises to be. But only reach that power, and you can't do it until you start making decisions. From the time you get out of your bed, and sometimes while in bed, to 12 noon, you've already made at least 250 decisions. Where you're going to get there, what kind of clothes you're going to wear. As you become aware of these decisions you're already making, you start to develop awareness of the decisions you're actively making or should be making, and soon you will become aware of new ideas and breakthroughs that are coming to you on a regular basis. It's one of those many breakthrough decisions that will be instrumental in changing your life for the better. And the more you make, the better your life becomes. First, as you see success in these new decisions you're making, you start to eliminate the negativity that you lived with all your life. Replace it with the I can't with an I can. I won't with I will. And I shouldn't with should. There are studies that insist your physical being becomes more healthy with your positive outlook. You're actually programming yourself in all areas, physically, mentally, and spiritually, to achieve health and mental strength to become anything you want to be. Why haven't you done this before? Well, because you don't know what you want to be. The killer of personal success is the fear we consciously incorporate in our lives every waking moment of the day. We're afraid that something wrong is going to happen, that there are things we can do, and things we don't want. Step outside the box. Your breathing, posture, language, and social delivery are all by your fear. Eliminate that fear and you talk better and influence more people than you can ever know. We always underestimate the influence we assume in our own circles. There are many people who are affected and influenced. Many of them, when they become to seeing what we are and what we fear, leave alone. And that's the reason we never see them. Our children, our parents, our co-worker, are all affected by how we think and what we possibilities of our thinking and personal success will touch many and make them better for being with us. So how do you start? My suggestion is we get in alignment with the rules of the universe. It sounds like a big order. They're already doing things naturally. For example, the normal imperatives of the universe, label from Immanuel Kant, shall not kill. So if you haven't killed anyone physically, you're following at least one of these major rules. But each rule has layers, and your character is how you look into those. And for example, if you made an appointment and you are late for a reason, physically killed them, but you have to their life by robbing them of time that they could have spent better somewhere else. So you did kill them of time they can't get back. Save the places to learn about these civil rules. Humanity is to go to the Ten Commandments and see you. And that's the beginning of learning. Your reality not self, but your God to your fellow. Then you should get to know what are your talents and capabilities? What are your passions? What do you define as this upon it? These are not simple questions. Answers cannot be found within a couple days, or even a week, and sometimes not in a lifetime. It's time to look for those now. Looking at your experience, understanding hidden talents, and studying your passions, to uncover the secrets that have always been around your life and waiting for you to discover them. What you realize how sacred, how precious. You realize how emotional and physical you are, and why. One thing is for sure. Every characteristic self-study leads to the fact that you are destined for success. Identify the negative programs that have been controlling your life so far. Study your subconscious. Realize that some of your programming is deficient and needs to change. More than anything else, realize that you have done a self-study of programming yourself into success. And start thinking that way. Make decisions. Prompt yourself to action. Forgive yourself when you fail. And then keep going and you achieve whatever success is for you. Then, after you've gotten there, train others in how they become a success. Why don't you start that?